Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Bullspit podcast. I'm your host, Cash Bolin. I look forward to diving into this past weekend's events in Austin at the Gambler Days. We had some big rides, big bull scores, big rider scores, and some big team scores also. Who's on their way up and who's on their way down? There's a couple of teams really reeling for a ride right now. Did the Gamblers take advantage of their hometown crowd? And did Carolina get their first loss of the season? They had some tough matchups. We'll dive into our top 3 team performances, top 3 rider performances, and top 3 bull performances before jumping into each team's success and failures and giving them a grade for the weekend. Let's get to it. We dive into our top 3 team performances from this past weekend. At number 3, the Rattlers get 258 3/4 in a hard-fought win against the Wildcatters on Sunday. Mason Taylor added his first ride. They had put together 2 back-to-back good performance weekends, winning 4 of their last 5. And they're on a roll after finding themselves in last place. Good for them. 258 3/4 is a solid score. At number 2 in our top 3 team performances from this past weekend in Austin, Kansas City gets it done finally. They go 264 3/4 to be the first team to take down the Carolina Cowboys on Saturday. It was a great matchup. World champions everywhere. Carolina just didn't have it this one. Dare I say that was the best thing that happened to them, though. Focusing on Kansas City, though, they're on the up and up. Casio Diaz is starting to ride. They're number 2 in the standings and charging fast at the Cowboys. And at number 1 in our top team performances from this past weekend, it's the Carolina Cowboys. They lose to Kansas City in our number 2 spot, as we just mentioned, and they come back on Sunday and all 5 riders ride for 429.5 points. I think, like I said, best thing that probably could have happened for Carolina. They had revenge on their mind on Sunday and they got it done. Still the best team. We'll see how they respond to this loss, but I guarantee you it's going to be some added motivation for those champions. We get to jump into our rider performances from this past weekend. At number 3, Eduardo Aparecido goes 91 on Tulsa time on Friday night. A big response from him. We'll jump on another rider who made a big performance for the Wildcatters in that game, but Eduardo Aparecido needed to respond big time, and he did. 91 points from the vet. At number 2 in our top rider performances, Adriano Salgado goes 92 on Flying Wired on Sunday. He's been 93 on this bull before. It goes 92 this time, and it was a big statement from him. He's getting healthier. That guy is a big-time factor for them in the middle of their lineup. Great job, Adriano Salgado, and great job to my favorite, Flying Wired. And at number 1, Eduardo Matos continues to be the MVP for the Wildcatters. That guy is riding anything and everything, I feel like, right now. He's had multiple 90-point rides. He's probably up to 3 now on the team season. He goes 92.5 on Flying Wired on Friday. He goes 92.5. Eduardo Aparecido then responds with that 91 in our number 3 performance. Big time from him, big time from Flying Wired. He's in both of our top 2 rider performances for the weekend. Let's get to our bovine athletes. Number 3, Manaba goes 45.5 in Saturday shootout versus Casey Roberts. Big Bank also going 45.5, so they both have those scores. He goes in Sunday, and he knocked off JRV. So big time performances from Manaba and Big Bank at 45.5. At number 2, a bull we've thrown around multiple times. He's been in some of our categories before this season. Firewater puts out performances of 46 on Sunday in a shootout and 45.5 on Friday in a shootout to knock off John Crimber. He put up a big performance with Keyshawn Whitehorse a couple of weekends ago. Firewater is on fire. Our number 1 bull score for the weekend in Austin was a big one. Fast Flow goes 46 3/4 and makes it look pretty easy against the multiple-time PBR world champion Jose Vitor Leme in a shootout on Sunday. There was no chance. That bull looked great in about 3 seconds that we saw him. 46 3/4 is a big bull score. Congrats to him. Now we get to get into the team discussion. We got a lot to talk about from this past weekend at the Gambler Days. 8-4 on our picks this past weekend. Not too bad. And of course, we did pick that upset finally. Kansas City gets it done versus Carolina. That brings our yearly total to 31-24-1 on the season. Guys, tune in if you want to know about the PBR team events. Guarantee you, if you are a new coming bull riding fan, I got you. If you've been in the industry for a while, I can dive in deeper into some of these analysis. Tune in. I promise you, you won't regret it. Let's jump into our team discussions now. At number 1, the Carolina Cowboys. They go 2-1 this weekend. I'm still giving them a B+. They lose to Kansas City on Saturday for their first loss of the season. Guess what? They're going to be fine, and that was the best thing that could have happened to them. They get that monkey off their back of going undefeated, and now they can focus on riding their bulls. They know if they ride their bulls, more times than not, they're going to win these games. They have too many superstars, too many gold buckle winners, and a coach in Jerome Davis that is going to have them headstrong. Next up, the Arizona Ridge Riders. 0-2 again this weekend. The C-, I might change that to a D actually. They had put up some rides. Mentioned Aguero Percito, Keyshawn Whitehorse got in on things today, this weekend also. But they go 0-2. They don't have enough to get it done. I can't say halfway through the season that I thought the Arizona Ridge Riders would be sitting in last place. Let's see how the second half of the season goes for them. At number 3, the Austin Gamblers. In front of their hometown crowd, they can't take advantage. 1-2 weekend from them. They lose to the Mavericks on opening night. They lose to the Rattlers the second night. They beat the Thunder on the third night. Disappointing. Dalton Castle starts out with a great ride against the Mavericks, and you think things are off to a hot start, and then they get bucked off 10 straight over the rest of Friday. Don't ride it all on Saturday. Lucas Davino shows up in the number 2 spot on Sunday, and he saves their weekend. Big points from him after he was so close to a ride on Saturday night. He changes the momentum big time. Good for Lucas Davino. If you've ever been around him, you know he's as solid, as happy, as nice, as humble as a guy as you'll ever see. They call him Lucky. He's always smiling. Congratulations, Lucas Davino, on stepping up big for the Gamblers. Jose Vitor Leme adds in on Sunday also. They salvage a win, but not what they wanted coming off a 1-2 weekend last weekend in Nashville. They got to get back to riding bulls more consistently. I'm giving them a C for this weekend. See if they can respond. Next up, we have the Kansas City Outlaws. They go 2-0 this weekend, beating the Rattlers in a close one and then taking down the Carolina Cowboys. A+ for me. They showed that they have what it takes to go up against the best. Casio Diaz starts getting in on some rides. And they have another young superstar that they bring up. They drafted recently. They're doing great with their Brazilian recruiting team and really scouting out all those Brazilian bull riders. Macon Roca has came out on fire. He's been big for that team when they've needed it these past couple of weekends. I see them only getting better from here. I can't wait to see that next matchup, Kansas City versus Carolina. I'm going to go ahead and peek at that one and circle that one on my calendar. Great job from Kansas City this weekend. Next up in the team discussion is the Missouri Thunder. They got the fight. Paulo Edwardo Rossetto has been closing out things and been putting up rides left and right. He's making his way up the MVP standings, I believe, sitting in 6th currently. Andrew Avidrez, the captain, has showed up big time and been on fire, putting up multiple rides over the past couple of weekends. He has really been, I think, a turning point for them. They go in 1-1 this weekend. They do lose to the Gamblers on Sunday, but they get it done against the Stampede. We'll see. They're this middle of pack team, 50-50 on how their weekends are going to be. I'm going to give them a B-, but let's see if they can put together some more rides, put together some more wins, and really make their way up the standings. Next up, the Texas Rattlers. If you were in attendance, it was a joy, or if you saw it on TV, Cody Lambert and the Rattlers showed up this weekend. They go 2-1. They do lose a tough one to the Outlaws on Friday, but they return on Saturday and beat the Gamblers, relishing in front of their opposing crowd. Cody Lambert loves Austin apparently, and they've had their backs up against the wall. They were sitting last place after the Brooklyn event with the Maverick days. They show up again in Nashville. They show up in Austin. They're climbing up. They're getting their rides. Brady Fielder has shot himself up into the MVP conversation, into the top 10. They're getting big rides. See if they can continue that. Great job, Texas. Next up, we have the young guns, the superstars, the Florida Freedom. They go 2-0 this weekend. Big A-plus performance from them. Florida got big rides from Alex Arcada. He goes 87 and 3/4 on Friday and 89 on Sunday. They get 2 big wins against the Ridge Riders and the Stampede, 2 teams that are competing and really jockeying with position in the standings. Great job from them. They showed, that they have some motivation. They've shown that adversity and they fought through it. Great job by Paulo Krember and the crew. Next up, Nashville Stampede. They have been on a tear recently, but they go 0-2 this weekend. 2 tough losses. They get some rides, but it's not enough in either game. Caden Loud sitting out still, I believe, with injury. Hopefully for them, he returns sooner than later. They got to get some more consistency. Cody Jesus has been adding in some rides. Alan De Sosa has been doing this thing. Silvano Alves has fell off a bit in that closing position. He's a world champion. He's going to stay in that closing position. I bet he gets it right. Stampede go 0-2. C weekend from them. The New York Mavericks go 2-1 this weekend. I'm giving them an A still. They show up on Friday. The crowd is hostile. The Austin faithful is ready to cheer on their gamblers. And Hudson Bolton comes out first ride and just sucked the life out of that building. It was really cool. Dalton Castle did respond with a ride. So you think, okay, they had their adversity here. They're done. No. They keep going. They get another ride, and they beat the Gamblers on Friday night. They have another win over the Wildcatters on Saturday in a hard-fought win. And then on Sunday, they do get beat by the Carolina Cowboys, but that was a tough one. Good luck with after they had just lost. They came out and rode 5 for 5. You tip your hat to them and you move on. 2-1 weekend from them. Big time from Mauricio Mereda. He has been their closer and has really been a standstill for them. He's getting rides for them and someone that they can truly rely on. Let's see if those other guys can start picking up their rides. And to close out the team discussion, we have the Oklahoma Wildcatters. They go 1-2 this weekend. I'm giving them a C. After starting out the season so hot, these past 3 to 4 weeks have really since the Brooklyn event and Maverick days, it's been tough for them. Tough going. They get a win on Friday against Arizona, big part thanks to Eduardo Matos. But then they fall to New York on day 2 and Texas on Sunday, and another hard-fought battle. Court McFadden and Josh Foster continue to add in rides. Clay Guyton is on the injury list, so we'll hopefully have him back sooner than later. It's getting that second half of the season. They need to make a run. 1-2 weekend from them. See, guys, it was a great past weekend, and guess what? We're only 6 weeks of the season through. We have another 6 weeks, and then we get the championship weekend in Vegas. Next up, the Thunder Days hosted by the Missouri Thunder. It's going to be this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, Thursday, we will be back with the Thunder Days preview show at 5 o'clock, dropping on YouTube. As always, please like, share, comment. A view and a share go a huge way in helping our progress and growing and hopefully being able to bring you some better content. We're going to start looking at some rider interviews on Wednesdays, bringing those to you. Maybe some of the young superstars coming up. That should be some exciting stuff. Hopefully to bring that to you here within the next couple of weeks. Follow on TikTok, Bullspit Pod, YouTube, Bullspit Podcast, Instagram, Bullspit_podcast. Thank you for everything. And until Thursday, we will see y'all later.